Hello, everyone. Welcome to FESIG. Welcome to the Free Energy Special Interest Group. And it's going to be an exciting meeting today. This is the 52nd FESIG meeting. It's today's date is the 2nd of May, 2018. So welcome again, everyone. And I'm going to start sharing screen so you will see what we are about. Share screen. Yeah, so this is my usual PowerPoint presentation. The Free Energy Special Interest Group is a platform where scientists and researchers and innovators of free energy get together to meet the others who would also bring the missing equation into the picture. So this is a platform where science meets spirituality. It is open to all, and it's a very open-minded consciousness group of people where we meet once a month. And you can go to our website. Our website is, oh gosh, hang on, let me see. Right, it is truevisionofpeace.com/FESIG.html. I'll share screen on the website in a minute. So this is our 52nd FESIG meeting agenda. We don't have new members today, except our king of cryptocurrency, Marco. He's not new to FESIG. He's an old member of FESIG. Yeah. So the first speaker for today's meeting is Dr. Fresras will be co-chairing with me for the first session. Martin Berger and Marco, the world's first cryptocurrency inventor. He says this is just even before Satoshi's time. So it's exciting what Marco has to share with us today. So stay tuned. And Martin is, of course, the chairman of the foundation, which is a FESIG new initiative. And we have our co-chair for us. And the second speaker will be Michael Shrimpton. He's a barrister. He's a hero because he exposes the bad ones, you know. He's a specialist in national security and constitutional law. He's a strategic intelligence and counterterrorism specialist. Okay, he's the author of Spy Hunter, The Secret History of German Intelligence, 2014. Well, I actually have James Rink down here to co-chair with me, but he doesn't seem to have appeared yet, so we'll see. And then we could then adjourn to the next meeting on the 53rd, the 53rd FESIG meeting on the 6th of June. Speakers are to be announced later. So basically, that is what we have for the day, for today's meeting. Then I'll just move on. I'll stop sharing screen now. And I'm going to start introducing the first set of speakers. Of course, Martin needs no introduction, a reintroduction. We all know him. He's our hero, and he's the one with a big heart and very generously saying that everyone deserves equity as he does, everyone who are solution-based thinkers. So Martin is the CEO, founder of Blue Eagle Incorporated, executive design engineering and construction expertise with visionary leadership abilities. He's comfortable with the unknown, unwavering commitment to excellence, elected fellow with the World Innovation Foundation, a Gerson Lehman Group consultant, and he's the founding CEO of Octane Resources Incorporated, a public junior mining company involved in a silver play at Great Bear Lake. Founding CEO of Blue Energy Canada Incorporated. He played key roles in the success of two other technology-driven companies and in the development of several world-scale construction projects in the petrochemical, energy, and mining sectors. And he's actually renowned for the tidal bridge, the Bohai tidal bridge that is to build in China to bridge two islands together, bring commerce and free energy as well, because the tidal bridge will unleash a lot of energy that could be used. Martin and colleagues have evaluated some 500 plus innovation technology developments and previous commitments to Blue Energy Canada. All right, so I pass the microphone over to you, Martin, because Martin today is going to give us an update as to his progress in his ICO preparations. As he was saying that he's going to give to us a cryptocurrency each. Oh, it's a energy innovation coin. And then we have Marco here, who is the world's first cryptocurrency inventor. Marco is assisting Martin in the preparation of the ICO, and Marco has a lot of information to share. So it's very, very exciting. Marco is certainly very brilliant with what he does and what he'd done before in the past in bringing the first cryptocurrency to the world. So without saying any more, Martin, would you come over and take the microphone from me?
Well, first of all, Crystal, I want to thank you for having me back. It's a real heartfelt feeling in this space. Also, coincidentally, Marcos and I have a history going back a number of years, and we've lost contact. And we've gotten our heads back together, and are doing some great work. So thank you for reconnecting Marcos back into my space. He's been
Honor and
invaluable.
pleasure is mine.
He's been invaluable to the process. It's a bit of a a convoluted, jumbled space right now. We're probably approaching 3,000 cryptocurrencies out there, tokens, and all kinds of funny stuff. We've all been hoping that rather than doggy coins or other nonsense coins without any design purpose, would be displaced or eclipsed in some point, with purpose designed coins. And so we were very clear when we, embarked on this white paper process to accelerate the stranded energy solutions. And there's a good deal of them, Dr. Tom Vallone, whistleblower, 35 years at the U.S. Patent Office, senior patent examiner, 5,135 energy denied patents for so-called purposes of national security when nothing could be further from the truth. So that's the legacy and that's the history. And the issuance of what we're coming to call now the solution coin. We started out with a picture of the opportunity horizon, the intimacy, extent, details with the vision that was apparent at the time. But as you go into this work, you get deeper and deeper into it, and your vision intimacy improves, and the clarity further improves, subsequent horizons, all these things. It's an evolutionary process. But we're at a place now where we can readily see this coin soon after its launch registering as a top tier coin candidate and then evolving into a first tier coin. Then there's some strategies to take the coin from there to sort of a universal solution royalty revenue coin, a very valuable coin to a wider audience. But the biggest part, and Crystal blames me for my excess generosity. There's nothing generous about it at all. It's just understanding how strategically we have to move forward to progress the world. We have to do that from a place of cohesion and unity. Tesla was defeated and mudraked as a nut job and all the rest of that. All of them were defeated individually. I was defeated for some 20 years with an obvious tidal bridge solution that was totally buildable back in the 70s. These were game-changing energy solutions. Now our work with Dr. Malusky and what we call the flux amplifier, MMFA, free energy handheld solid state electronic device, where I see a laptop sort of scale unit electronic box providing 10, 20 kilowatts of power. So just these two energy solutions really goes a long way to shaking things up and progressing for humanity. I think electricity should be free. You know, it's just like the air. We have to work our whole lives to pay off just your student debt to get an engineering degree. If you want a PhD, well, then you're it for life, and you better toe the line, sort of thing. So I don't think, you know, and the biggest component of that is your energy and your shelter, that sort of stuff. So these are the sort of things that are a birthright, and the, you know, the abundance that's available if the wealth is shared and distributed better. You would find that there was a prosperity level here for the whole planet, and there's a dignity that comes with that in achieving that sovereignty. That's a newfound sovereignty for humanity. We think of ourselves as these hugely intelligent, smart people. We put a man on the moon, maybe. You know, we have an iPad. We're smart guys. But the thing is these solutions have to go further. You know, when we started, we thought we were energy innovation coin, and now we're going to be solution coin.xyz. When you start looking at the problems that have to be solved, they've all got answers. They've all got solutions. The type of community that we're going to bring together here, these are the problem solvers. These are the inventors. These are the engineers. These are the guys that fix things. These are the guys that build things. You know, these are the guys that really get off on solving what are for otherwise, you know, very complex problems. They love it. So what we got to do is get the solutions with some traction, and the issuance of these coins or series of coins will allow us to do that. But a big part of it will be bringing a structure together where the community can share. You know, one of the channels for Solution Coin XYZ will be, you know, the FESIG channel. If you want to focus in on what people are talking about in the new energy space, we have all kinds of these various channels part of the Solution Coin homepage. And it'll become a strong social fabric and element. And it's from that focus point where the unity in consciousness and cohesion is attained. And once that's attained, this becomes a master coin, a universal go-to coin. You use this card and coin for everything. So, you know, that's the fun part. That's the progress on the vision side, seeing where this opportunity wants to go. And then there's some very exciting people that are showing up to plug us into those various aspects of the, you know, the expanded vision. I don't want to share any names and, you know, anything like that until there's material facts, you know, on the ground to actually report. So, but it's amazing once you see the vision and you get excited and clarified about that, and that energy goes out in the magnetic resonance, and then, you know, the perfect person just shows up. You know, how does that happen? You know, I don't know. As an alchemist, I should figure that out, I guess. Anyways, Marcus, time for you to throw some input in here.
Hello?
Yeah, we can hear you, Marcus.
Okay. I'm not sure where to start, but this is an exciting time. This is one of the most abundant times of human history right now. When we're talking about blockchain, I mean, yes, I started. Martin was a pioneer in the change, in the shift of thinking, and we all know that good ideas are getting stopped, and we know why. We don't have to get into the details why, but this is why we're in the most abundant time in history. Okay, so blockchain, okay, it all starts with the concept of what is money. Money first started as trade. You could use beads or skins or food or whatnot. And then the first innovation of money was 5,000 years ago. I believe it was the Sumerians. They had a ledger. And so it was just debits and credits. And this brought a huge abundance for mankind. But the thing about it was the accountant was the king's and the king's brother or the king's friend. So if there was ever an issue with this accounting, you're dealing with the king's brother. There's a little bit of a conflict of interest happening. And, you know, if the king died, there'd be a problem. You know, if you wanted to audit it, we'd have an issue. but it brought much abundance to humanity. So the second innovation was double entry accounting. And I believe this started in Korea, and it was just another record. It was like a public record that would go out. And this brought a greater abundance to humanity. We could do international shipping at this time. The double entry accounting took off with the printing press. The printing press is what really made it. This is what we're in right now for the most part. If you use QuickBooks or one of these tax things, this is double entry accounting. It's basically a record that could be printed multiple sources. Well, and this brought much abundance. Like this, I mean, we wouldn't have our iPad, we wouldn't be driving our cars or listening to podcasts, nothing without accounting. Like there would be no international trade, nothing would be happening. But now what we've got is triple entry accounting. And so the concept is a public record. So, as Satoshi wrote, an immutable public record. So what this means is, like the days of Enron are gone, where they're hiding stuff in subsidiary companies, and they're we all know every big company from Coca-Cola to whatever, they have offshore companies. They're doing this, they're doing that. It's a game, and it shouldn't be. The game is legal fiction, and it's the fact that money we use now, fiat money, is based on debt, and nobody knows this. Like for the majority don't know this. So it's actually debt in transit. And what this cryptocurrency brings to the world is it's debt free. There is no debt attached. And in its truest sense, we're a group working together for a common cause. We want free energy to the world. We want to help humanity, clean up the pollution. That's what we're trying to do. And there's no joinder until we cross over into that old world legalese. And this is the part that this was the bottleneck, because the old world exists just because a new one has been built. These guys have fought and, caused wars and whatever else just to keep this old game going. So, we've reached out. We've got a lot of contacts. Some very big developers are very interested. They're very impressed with Martin and this idea. I'm really excited. Like, I know we have something. I know we are going to change the world. And I guess we could leave it at that.
I hope you don't mind that I was just sharing screen on blockchain, because you're not showing yourself. So
oh, okay, yeah, that's fine.
Screen.
That's fine.
Yeah. Well said, Marco.
I thought it was well choreographed there, Crystal. Good work.
Wow. That was from the cuff.
Oh, you know what? With somebody with your background, being the inventor of the first cryptocurrency in the world, backing up Martin and giving a testimony,
it's funny.
It's going to be fantastic. It's going to be great, and it's going to be very successful. And doesn't that say a lot for all of us here? What we're doing here for humanity? Wow, we're going to spring up from the ashes like the phoenix from the ashes.
Yeah.
Well, thank you.
Well, a lot of us, toiled, in solitary mode sort of thing for most of our lives, and when the idea, this vision emerged to create this airdrop and make multimillionaires out of the solution people, great family of friends. When you start interacting with other like-minded solution people, and you see their commitment to their own, unique nature of service to that end, that's something that binds and bonds us all. So, great.
Absolutely.
Right. So that being said, if I would be able to share screen again, I just want to point out to everyone to go into FESIG's website. It's truevisionofis.com/FESIG.html. If you go there, you'll be able to see Martin's call for participation, because we are to give him a list eventually of, well, a lift as well, eventually of the people who are solution-based thinkers. So he could do the airdropping. And if you are having like 10 years or more of experience bringing solutions to humanity, like a light warrior, we urge you to apply to become a finder. If you click on this one, the finder, you'll be able to fill in the form and we'll get your particulars, and please submit your CV as well. And then you'll be forming the inner circle of the foundation, where you are kind of like the members of the council, like policymakers and all that, thinkers, futurist thinkers. And then we can start this project, the foundation, which is the brainchild of Dr. Elizabeth Donovan and I. And this is like a breakaway civilization, breakaway community, where literally we can grow it into, oh, somebody's drawing on the screen. We can grow it into a sovereign nation, self-governing sovereign nation. I don't know who has been drawing on the screen. This is very strange. I've never experienced this before. But anyway, I'm going to stop sharing screen in a moment. I just want to point out to you where to click to apply. And then if you want to find out more about the foundation, click on the foundation, because this is where the action's going to start. Right. And if you are not interested in doing so much work, and you just want to have the one airdrop of the one cryptocurrency, and then join us later, because you just want to see how it goes first, it's fine. Just click on join us on FESIG, join us for the FESIG subscription. No, it's not. I mean the FESIG listing. Okay, there you are. This one. Okay, so the finder is listed here as well. And if you got some extras to pay forward, we would be very much welcoming your donation, because this is still, money is still the lifeblood of the planet, and we still need to pay for services and things to get cracking and going. And that's it for now. Oh, I'll have to scroll down and show you that if you want to know more about Martin, you could actually click on there's a link here somewhere. You'll find it, okay? And you will find out more about what he does and where he's coming from. And the next speaker, Michael Shrimpton, you click on this link, you see for yourself. You probably have done so, otherwise you won't be here in this meeting room. And there's so many of us now, I think 14 to 15. That's cool. And FESIG meeting reports are all there on this site. Okay, so read about it. It's very interesting. The speakers that we got, to speak in FESIG, each brings a piece to the table, and it's so amazingly fantastic. I mean, Wayne was talking about the healing benefits of his miracle, and it's so fantastic. And then we had Miles Johnston, who's in our midst right now. He's attending this meeting right now, and it was Miles who actually recommended that Michael Shrimpton speaks here today. So Miles has done so much work for humanity. Click on his link, Basis, you know more. He's actually working with Carrie Cassidy right now of Project Camelot. And he's got millions and millions of views. Gosh, I mean, his videos are fantastic, amazing disclosure on exposure. So that's it. That's my take on it. Yeah. Go on then, Marco, if you've got more to say, or Martin.
I see you fixed the artwork.
Yeah, I stopped sharing.
I don't know. There was some red lines going across.
It's so strange. I don't know who drew on the screen, and it just came out like that. Well, anyway, go on then, Martin. You want to say more, because this is exciting times for you, and here, Marco.
It's very exciting, and Marco's promised me a landing page here in the next little while, so that'll be an interesting milestone where everybody can come and see the story, see the white paper drafts, and stuff like that as we get into some pre-coin sales. The whole crypto space right now, it's kind of flatlined in a bit of a lull. Bitcoin is under 9,000, 10,000, and gold, still in a sort of a doldrums at 1,300 or somewhere in there. But I really see that we're coming on a wave that'll take, the Bitcoin to the 100K level, and then you'll really start to see some improved coin designed architecture. The underhood components of one coin versus another coin are huge. 25,000 kilowatt hours to mine one Bitcoin. Who came up with something that insane? That's unbelievable. Nobody thought that one through. We're going to have all the power plants in the world mining our Bitcoin. Whoa, whoa, whoa. So, there's a lot of new things, and as the initial coin designer, I just really enjoyed the discovery process, the vision process side of that, the engineering, the structuring, all of that. But Marcus has got such insight going so far back to the genesis of this whole thing that it's really he provides me a real vantage point. It's one thing when you lift the hood and you see, the fan turning and all these hoses and wires and cables and computer modules and all that stuff. But when you actually have to start, making comparative performances with little individual elements and stuff like that, it's fascinating, it's complex, but yet in the end, Mark is able to distill it. And distill it right down to what is it, and what is money, and this new horizon that we're going into will have a very positive and expansionary value creating leverages, amazing. The economy of humanity will really be multiplied, and it will put a lot of people to productive work that otherwise, for vested interest reasons, are all marshaled on the sidelines of the unemployment lines looking for work, beyond McDonald's and sort of thing. Scientists that labored all their lives. When I talk about gifting coin, I'm not giving anybody anything. All I'm doing is acknowledging what these people, these very special people in our solution community, what they've done and what they've meant to their neighbors, all of those things. You see, it's just acknowledging that innate equity, and that'll bring this unity and coherence, leverage to the coin and to this community.
Super. Can I ask a question real quick then?
Fire away.
Go, Chair.
With the cryptocurrency, can you expand on the differences between a collectible coin versus currency and how that would work in the cryptocurrencies?
I'll defer to Marcus on that one.
Marco? Well, he's not muted. No, he's not muted. Hi, Marco. Yeah.
Hi.
Are you ready?
Can you repeat the question?
Sure. I was wondering, when it comes to cryptocurrency, is there how does this versus collectible coins versus currency? How does cryptocurrency work into it? Is there a way of mimicking it?
Well, okay. The first thing that is not widely known is it's not money. It's a transfer of value. It can represent many things. Money, fiat, has debt attached, and it's a privilege of a societal system, the old world we'll call it. And when you use that money, the fiat, there's obligation and duty to pay tax, to all kinds of things, right? And but cryptocurrency in its pure form, see, this is the thing, because we're walking a line here. This is a brand new world, and if you use a license, you're walking into a new jurisdiction, and you could think of it as maybe I'm losing the point here. It is not money in its pure sense. It's a transfer of value, and so they're not the same. It's not a gold coin. It has something a lot more to it. In the case of Blue Energy, it will have, you know, hey, we're a group. We believe in clean energy. We want to build a bridge. We want to help out humanity. And we're working in an equitable trust together as a team. And then they will still try to create joinder to the old world and try to stop it and say it's a security and all this stuff. And this is what we're trying. It's a bit of a game, but this is where we're at. It's a new era in commerce. I hope that answered your question. I don't know that.
Well, basically, when we get into the difference between money and currency, currency refers to the transfer, it's motion, it's the moving of energies from one person to the other, goods, services. Yeah. Economies are based on a flow of, quote, the currency value. Your collectible coins are some of a reserve for those that are minting the coin or producing a coin. There's usually a small one that people would put away for a future rather than to be into the currency or the motion of it. It basically helps back the developers of the coin in this place. And that's why I was asking if the cryptocurrency has anything that might work as either a collectible coin or as a, you know, you're basically answering the question that is a currency. It is a facilitator of energy from one person to one group.
Yes, but there's no debt attached. It's an equitable, you know, it's not money. It's a currency. It is a transfer of energy and information and value, but it's not, it is different now. And believe me, not many people know this. I've met billionaires that have screwed up and they made mistakes and they tried doing things and they ran up into these jurisdiction issues, and that's a security and you're doing this. And it's, many people don't know what they're talking about, even in the blockchain community. But that's, I mean, not to sound, just because I've been in it early on, I kind of, and I read the white paper and then I got into Satoshi's head, what he was thinking. Okay, this makes sense. This is new. This is not money. This is new. But they will try to make it like the old money. And that's what's kind of happening right now. There's a bank, you know, the little Goldman Sachs has hired a bunch of traders and they're trying to, you know, do this and that. And they're saying it's a stock. It's like the new stock market. It's like, well, it's not, but they're going to try.
Well, aren't we lucky? We have someone who's before Satoshi's time to help us, Martin.
Well, this Satoshi guy, I think, you know, there was a room full of those blockchain code writers, and he's the paper mache figure, cartoon figure they put over the Satoshi file. When you know, I think it's been analyzed and studied enough, and when you get into the, you know, the cross-pollination of, you know, the various elements and agencies behind that whole white paper emergence, all of a sudden, you know, we had this white paper born, like the Easter Bunny dropped it on Sunday afternoon on the lawn, you know, whoa. And now it, you know, is changing the whole landscape. Well, this is all design, and at some point, that's where they'll tighten the blockchain up on all of us. But I'm optimistic and pretty clear that we'll see that inevitable threshold crossed, and we'll all have to be, you know, blockchain right to your DNA, and have to deal with the consequences of whatever that is in our future. But in the meantime, there's $1 trillion or $2 trillion laying around for creative people to put to work and get some progress on the solution side. Absolutely. and address the energy to where it's free energy. At one point, we can, you know, keep bringing energy solutions. There's dozens of them. We'll start with 3 or 4, including a nuclide remediation, alchemical process technology for waste cleanup. You know, the Pacific has got to be, you know, filtered. Right. You know, that's a big job. But
I'm
you
like,
know, there's clever people that would just love to jump in and solve that problem, and those are the people that we will find, and we will go after these so-called complex, unsolvable problems. You know, most of it. You know, and what's special about this community is the responsibility levels, you know, that this solution-minded group have, and they're terribly committed to leaving the world a better place, and nothing will dissuade them from that. So
yeah.
that's a great community to empower. It's a great community to make them happy. It's a great community to finally, you know, grant them the voice. You know, they've had a very important message all around us every day, and they haven't had their voice. They've been shut in and shut down, and without the cohesion of unity, we're defenseless against, you know, any kind of competing interest. And so to free this community up and give them the respect, acknowledge them their equity and their life service in all their various works, whether it's music or healing arts or whatever, it's solutions. And so this is where currency, whether you want to call it a coin or whether you want to call it a barter transfer, I don't care. Just get the right resources to the right people, and we will all have a good time and prosper, and also finally achieve some of these milestones that have been, you know, terribly denied for so long.
Martin, recently you said that you just recruited 2 awesomely powerful CEO people to come in to help you, or entrepreneurs. But that being said, okay, I know they might have resources to lend on the successful preparation of these solution coin ICO. But at the same time, in the same breath, I have learned so much from Marco, because he and I were communicating quite often, like every other day, and he's taught me a lot. And I also had the opportunity to see his checklist of the items of what you need to do before you actually would be able to launch your ICO in a big way. And I wonder whether it's okay for me to say, Martin, that you may need some volunteers of talents in some of the areas that that could be helped with, so that we could speed this up quicker.
Well, I think the ICO launch date is not set yet, and Marcus and I will, you know, be forming that launch target date in the next week or so, probably. But we're clear about what we want and how we want to do it, and what it's going to take, and we're in pretty good shape. Content-wise and whatnot. The story needs to be modified a bit for, you know, the different turn. We were going to go with Skyledger, and I think we're pretty clear now we're going to go with a different architecture associated with NXT, and that took me a while to get the clarity on that, and on the people side, you know, I've got history with Jane Chang and the people there with Skyledger. You know, Jane Chang and I go back to year 2000 in Caracas. I'm comfortable in dealing with her, but she's very money focused and sort of 2 or 3 dimensional in that sense. And then now the party that brought some clarity to our ICO, Marcus and I, was this fella in Spain with NXT. He's a musician. He's you know, somebody that's got that same solution-minded service commitment. And so, you know, while we can probably achieve the coin's objectives by going with Skyledger or NXT, we get a relationship leverage benefit and working with our Spanish musician friend, and it looks like it's probably a better design than the Skyledger. The Skyledger's got a pretty good design, but there's a lot of complaints that people are having problems, operating on their coin, getting transactions completed, all of that sort of stuff. So they're not as far along as I'd like to see them, but this is a fascinating time. There's a sovereignty here for humanity. There's a sovereignty, economic sovereignty for each of us as individuals, and leading and providing the leadership. This is leadership. Okay, these solutions are not going to come together just because we wish them so. No, there was actually engineering meetings, planning, and purchases, and deliveries, and assembly, construction. There's all of that stuff, and it's real intense stuff. So that happens when you actually form a relationship with somebody that's got similar levels of integrity and commitment and passion. And so I prefer what's become the preferred option, NXT, as our launch issuance coin mechanism, maybe modified or considerably modified to suit specific or purpose design ICO. So, but in the end, it's the relationship that's the most exciting part.
Mm. Right. We have about 15 minutes to go before the next speaker comes in to present. I would like to acknowledge the presence of the people here who are convening in this meeting. I'm sort of like Fres. Is it time then for us to go around the table, or is there anything else that you would like to add to this talk, Marco?
No, I'm very excited, and I did have a nice conversation with Joan. And Joan, we didn't know, we thought Joan was a female at first. It was kind of funny, and then it's like, oh, it's a man. Barcelona.
Yeah.
And so I had a good conversation. Very intelligent man, very passionate, and he's a great guy. And yeah, I believe NXT is the platform we want to build this on.
Right.
Yeah, he was very exciting and had a lot of knowledge. Definitely. Yeah.
Right.
So that's it.
Thank you so much, Marco.
Anybody have any questions? Any comments or?
Okay, what I'm going to do, Martin, is I'm just going to acknowledge all who are present here now, and then we'll go through one by one to see if anybody has to say anything, all right, or ask questions. And I would like to thank you for taking time off to join us in this meeting. Well, of course, Giovanni, I would like to thank Giovanni first and foremost. Giovanni Orlando has very generously and kindly pay forward in the sense that he volunteered to sponsor FESIG Zoom room. and then James says, he's already bought a Zoom subscription so FESIG can share that. And meanwhile, so we can channel Giovanni's subscription, £12 per month, into to help me out with paying the webmaster and the server host and all that, and some of the works that needed monthly fees. Yeah, so thank you so much, Giovanni. Giovanni, you're here with us. You were earlier. Okay. Now, I would like to thank Marco, of course, and Martin for keeping us updated with what's going on and the process. And Eliza is here. Thank you. Etienne, good, you're here. And Giovanni's here. Oh, Giovanni's here. And we have Lushan. Are you Louis? Okay. And then Marina's here. Hey, good to see you, sister. And Miles Johnston is here too. Miles gave a fantastic presentation during the last meeting, the 51st FESIG meeting, where he actually pieced the missing pieces together in the jigsaw puzzle by telling us how the black goo and the AI is related, and how the British has uncovered crates and crates of this black goo containers, and brought it to Britain to well, to be making the super soldiers and stuff like that. And it's a shame James wasn't there then, because James would attest to that, and James has got so much knowledge from his super soldier group. Right, so Pontus, thank you so much. Pontus has volunteered to help out with the social media part of FESIG, and we're getting more interested members now joining us, because Pontus has been actively posting free energy devices and YouTubes that are so interesting, eye-openers they are. Thank you, Pontus. So we have, and then Ron, hi, Ron bro, you're always such a good regular on the dot in every meeting. Truly appreciate your moral support. And James, as always, our brilliant super soldier brother, who's helping out in so many ways. Thank you, James, for offering the use of your Zoom room. And may I know who 1704 who has joined us from the mobile phone is, because I can't see your name and I don't know who you are. Would you be able to speak up? I've unmuted you and introduce yourself.
Yeah, hi Chewy. I mean Crystal.
James. Is that you, James? Oh, so that's your phone.
Yeah,
oh, okay.
Yeah,
you're using two devices.
Is not doing so well.
Right. So there are about 14 of us, 15 of us. James, you co-chair with me when Michael comes in. Michael should be here very soon. So meanwhile, since I have called out your names, would any one of you want to ask any question or say anything? Ask Martin now. Martin's here. During the updates, I'm sure you have a lot of questions. Like, for instance, Eliza, possibly you would like to ask Martin right now, because you kept asking me, Crystal, how is Martin going to do the airdropping? Do we have to come up with a cryptocurrency wallet, or is it going to be a very special cryptocurrency wallet for Solution Coin, Martin?
My battery's low here. I got to find a cord. Hang on.
Okay. All right. Is that? Have I asked your question well, Eliza?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, basically you would need a wallet in order to do the airdrop, yeah.
Marco, you want to add?
Yeah, I mean, if we build it on the, so NXT has a platform, Ardor, and if we were going to build it on that platform, yes, we would have our own wallet, so everybody could get their own wallet, or think of bank account. That's if you're not into cryptocurrency, think of it as account number, and then we drop in your tokens there. I know the vision was originally to have like a prepaid card that you could go and spend it. There's a bit of an issue with that, but it will probably be solved in the future. This is the one. That's funny. That's what I don't know if you know the Floyd Mayweather story, where he did his big ICO, and he had a type of cryptocurrency card, and he raised $32 million in about, I don't know, 4 hours, and he had to pay it all back. Guy had to go to jail because what was happening is he's crossing jurisdiction. It's not money, and a lot of people think it's money. It is not money. It is not fiat. There's no debt attached. But if you use the benefits of the society, like privileges, fiat money, now there's jurisdiction assumed and presumed, and you're breaking the law. And so somebody's going to jail. I'm not sure who it was, one of the lead developers or something, but another guy's missing. I'm sure Floyd's okay because he's a rich man. You can pay for the lawyers to get him off, but yes, we could definitely have a wallet in an Ardor and drop it off there. That would be easy.
Okay, I was wondering about that.
Yeah.
All right.
Well, thank you, Marco, for
the one that I
explaining.
joined at Coinsbank, they sent me this wonderful, presentation wallet and all this wonderful stuff, literature, and a Visa debit card right to my coin account, and you could use that, pretty much anywhere. And then they sent out an email announcing that all North American card holders, the cards would be canceled.
Oh, jeez.
You know, there was some jurisdiction stuff that brought that to a halt, but I understand from my colleague in Tel Aviv that there are new workaround solutions that have been now affected, and you know, he's our main resource on that side of it. Marcus will have a conversation, a three-way with him to fill in that part of the picture.
Mm-hmm.
Right. All right. Is there anybody else who wants to ask Martin and Marco some questions before we move into Michael Shrimpton? Michael Shrimpton's here with us. Hi, Michael. Welcome. Right. Marina, you're having your hand up. Oh, Marina has a question. Let me unmute you. You could unmute yourself. Hang on. Let me just look you up. Okay, you're unmuted, Marina.
Hi, everyone.
Hi.
I was just curious, is it possible if you guys can make some kind of a video of how exactly this works? Because I don't think so that for the general public, whoever wants to understand the stuff is clear enough. Because even with everything I talk about, I have difficulties understanding the whole vast of information, how this works, how this could be implemented. Maybe what is cryptocurrency, how is the exchange happening, what does that mean? Because some people understand, but most of the people that I talk to, of all my experience, have a very little knowledge of how this could be implemented in our society.
Well,
it has to be a transition.
Here's how it occurs to people. You know, you hear walk, 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 walk. It sounds like a bunch of chickens. Everybody's talking and everybody's excited about blockchain. Well, Sumerians had a ledger, okay? We've just got a digital version of it. We finally put that together. But the idea is that it takes some participation to understand the excitement, okay? Open an account, put $20 in there, buy yourself a coin. You know, this is something that our future is going to depend on acquiring these skills. Okay, let's go through the process. You can, you know, there's different ways to go. You can get a digital wallet, or you can get a thumb drive wallet. You know, there's lots of different ways to go. Which has got the best sort of interface to your own personal accounts. All of those things are things that we all have to sort out personally. And when we do the coin launch and the air target dropping, we will have to have the resources there. So we've got people support that they need to walk through these processes. And yes, videos are very powerful and important tools, but at these early stages, you have to be focused on actually doing the work instead of telling the story first. You know, when we get the work done, then we can tell the story a little bit.
But what I found out that people are not clear what the whole thing means. So who is going to go and put money into something physically when they don't even know what they're dealing with?
We'll articulate that very succinctly in the white paper. I've just taken a look at it the other day, and I need to spend a day or two on it, kind of clean it up.
Because we're looking at the stuff from our perspective and the knowledge, for example, that everybody in this group, it's, I would say, much more advanced in technologies, but regular public, I don't think they have any idea what we're talking about here. That's my experience, what I've seen. They have no idea what is wallet, what is crypto, and it's so much out there that nobody knows what they're doing.
Well, it's very early in the emergence of this whole space, okay? You know, this Bitcoin blockchain experts.
They don't even know the difference.
What's that?
They don't know the difference.
No, they don't. And the thing is the purpose in articulating the vision in the coin, okay? The purpose of the vision of the project, that will be very tightly focused, and people will know that this is a special community. They will want to be part of this special community. It's got people like Maria in it. Come on, who would not want to be part of that community? And we're going to make you rich, baby. We're going to make you rich. That's the fun part, you know. And
so if I want to, what do I do first?
people will, we don't want to talk to, you know, the fuzz heads. We don't. We want to talk to clear-minded, solution like-minded people initially. Once we've got that core resonance functioning, active, dynamic, interactive, all of those things, then you can bring a lot more noise into the space. But you don't want to pollute and toxify or distract or disturb the clarity of that initial signal. No, so we'll just keep the vision tight, keep it focused on, you know who's got equity in your own community, about who's been a citizen, who's been for these solutions. You know, those people are fairly easy to identify, but if one person can't do it, it's going to take a lot of us. Mm-hmm. And I want to see 250,000 of them in the airdrop. That's the sort of scale that an engineered consciousness domain requires. Okay, you know, there's an old wisdom, and it's probably a scripture about, you know, if two or more are gathered in my name or his name, you know, there's a lot more than just a multiplier, linear arithmetic. It's, you know, it's algorithmic, and there's a lot more when you put 250,000 like-minded people together in a community and say, we've had enough, we're not taking this shit any longer, and we're going to implement this solution, next solution, and just keep doing it. So that community will grow, and then when it becomes a revenue coin, royalty revenue coin, the thing pays you money every month. How good is that?
Right. I'm the timekeeper here. Time's coming up now for the next speaker to come onto the rostrum. Sorry. So you won't have much of a chance to ask any more questions. Okay, one last chance. One last question. Because, you know, our barrister, Michael Shrimpton, is very, very busy. He's been in and out of the courtroom, and he needs some rest as well. So his time is precious. So one last question. Yes, Etienne.
Yes. About Marina's question, well, even if there's white papers that lay it out very clearly, people still have to read it. And there's a lot of videos, if you just look on YouTube, that explain how cryptocurrencies work. So people need to, they need to go and look out the information, because it's all out there, it's all available, but they need to look at what's actually available.
Well said, Etienne. I was going to say that. Yeah, Marina. Actually, I educated myself that way as well, because at first I was like, oh, what is this about? And then I had the opportunity to talk to Marco, and he taught me a lot as well. And Martin too. Thank you. Yeah. Right. So anybody else? One last question. Okay, one quick last question before we jump to the next session.
How about a quick comment? I heard that there may be a, you know, like Bitcoin, there may be a back door to it, and if there is, it could suddenly crash with all of its value, and I suppose that could happen to any cryptocurrency that got infiltrated either by the person that started it or someone else that hacked it.
Well, ours is certainly not just any cryptocurrency, right? With Marco behind Martin, it's a very special coin, isn't it, Martin?
Well, yeah, yes. You know, security is an issue, but you know, one of the things that all of us just have to get okay with is volatility. Okay, you're going to see volatility, you're going to see hacking, you're going to see all kinds of crap, but it is a digitized, you know, verified, validated ledger, and that should be a step, you know, or 10 steps towards our integrity goals that needs to be restored in the system. People will come to trust our solution coin just because of its integrity. Okay, you can get a fiat coin, you know, there'll be a Fed coin at some point, no doubt about it. And, you know, all kinds of countries will take into it, and then, you know, all the banks are changing over every day. There's a new bank. You know, Diamond was saying he'd never have a Bitcoin. Now he's got a whole department. That's all they do is trade. So, Michael, take it away.
Oh, before that, no. Let me chair the meeting, Martin. Hang on a minute. Okay, because we have a system here and we have a format. All right. Now, I just want to say what's going to make it very special and unique is also two factors here. One is Martin has his tidal bridges. Okay, that is going to produce the free energy factor for the cryptocurrency, as well as the solution-based community that we are. So these two very special, unique features backing this activity here is making it so extra special. I know what I'm talking about because I've been to the London cryptocurrency show and they were highlighting these two areas here that's going to make it successful. Thank you. Am I right, Martin?
You are absolutely right. Thank you.
Good. Right. So there being no other business, now this first session of the 52nd FESIG meeting is now adjourned to the second session. And thank you. Just stay on because there's more to come in from Michael Shrimpton, because he's a hero of our times and he's written the book Spy Hunter. Okay, I'll bring you across to the next session. Now I shall stop the recording. Press. Okay, thank you.